as in the
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Please be seated. You people are making me look important, feel important. Sometimes when they start introducing me, I'll be wondering whether they're talking to another person. I'm so glad to be here. I'm sorry I came a little bit late. I was at the Church of God Mission. Where's that person? Charles, you are here. We had breakfast with Cosmos Maduka, and it was a very good experience. I'm so glad to be here, so glad to meet you, so glad Ado, Charles, my namesake, so glad to meet all of you. I'm supposed to share on the power of repetition. We'll take our bearing from 2 Kings chapter 2, verse 14. 2 Kings chapter 2, verse 14. There's the story of Elisha, who was a servant of Elijah, and Elijah was to be taken up to glory. And Elisha said that if you want a double portion of this anointing, if you can see me being taken up, then you will receive the double portion. And Elisha followed him. There were people who knew that Elijah was going, but they did not do anything about it. Sons of the prophets in Gilgal, Jericho, and Bethel. When Elijah was taken up in a chariot of fire, the mantle dropped, and Elisha picked it. And he got to the river Jordan and said, "Where now is the God of Elijah? Where now is the God of Elijah?" Don't worry about it. So he did what Elijah did, struck the river, and the river parted. In the human brain, in the prefrontal cortex, there are some cells called mirror neurons. Mirror neurons are neurons that when you see somebody do something, you can mimic the person. So you see, you perceive, you conceive, then you deliver. I call it stealing with your eyes. And I will share a quick story with you. Dr. Christian Barnard was said to have done the first heart transplant in 1963 in Cape Town. He wasn't the only one that did it. There was a man called Hamilton Naki. Can we say it together? Naki is N-A-K-I. He's from Ngangani in the Transkei region of South Africa. I've happened to have passed through there, through Umtata, that is Nelson Mandela's place, hilly place. He was a tall, strong man. That time, he went to Cape Town to work as a gardener in a hospital. And they were doing research on why giraffes, giraffes are quite tall, and their heart is in their thoracic cavity. So to pump blood to the brain requires a lot of pressure. Then why is it that when giraffe bends down to eat grass, that his brain does not burst? So they were doing research on giraffes, and they needed a strong man to hold the giraffe down. At the same time, they were also doing research on liver transplant in pigs and heart transplant. So they needed this strong black man, and they called Hamilton Naki to the theater. So Hamilton Naki was holding down giraffes for them to do experiments. And in the process, he was observing how they were doing the experiments. It got to a time, Hamilton Naki was now teaching resident doctors how to do liver transplants. Hamilton Naki became so good at harvesting hearts. That in 1963, I think it is December 31st, there was an accident and a young girl died and they needed to transplant her heart into somebody. And the most proficient person to assist Dr. Christian Bernard was Ametinaki. And they called him into the theater and told him, "You're a black man. You know you're not supposed to touch white skin, not to talk of white blood. But we know you are good." So they put a curtain, separated him from Dr. Christian Bernard, and told him, "You will remove this heart and give it to Bernard so that Bernard can plant the heart." And so Hamiltonaki opened up, removed the heart very quickly, transferred it to Christian Bernard, and Christian Bernard transplanted the heart. The cameras were on Christian Bernard. After the surgery, after surgery, you will need to sign in the operation book. Hamiltonaki signed in the operation book as assistant. And then when they were taking pictures, he also took in that picture. They asked, "Who is this black man?" They said he is a theater cleaner. And after the surgery, Christian Bernard, Mr. Hamiltonaki went home to the township where he was living, and nobody heard about it. In 2001, when Nelson Mandela came into power, the records were opened and saw that Hamiltonaki was really the assistant to Dr. Christian Bernard, and he should have shared in the honor. And Nelson Mandela gave him an honorary medical degree and built a hospital in his community. They asked him, "How did you learn that? How were you able to do that?" He said, "I stole with my eyes." I stole with my eyes. If you want to be successful, learn to steal with your eyes. Because there is a principle called the law of cause and effect. Law of cause and effect states that things don't just happen. That if you know what somebody has done to achieve a certain result, if you are able to do the same thing in the same environment, the same way, you will get the same results. The problem with African Christianity is that African Christianity is palliative. Sometimes when it becomes too much, it becomes an assassin of the intellect. Yeah. This is your year of double honor. Have you managed single honor? Am I speaking to somebody? You will see somebody just prophesying upon you without educating you. So we are living on hope capital. They are going to be this. People will send me message. This month is the month of this. Did I discuss that with you? I attend a church, charismatic church. The Archbishop has declared this month of this. No, it's not. I know what I have in mind to achieve. Are you following what I'm saying? Yeah. So, in the Bible, you have the spirituality of the Bible and the sociology of the Bible. The New Testament is the spirituality of the Bible. If you live the New Testament life, you will be very useless here on earth. You must have a mixture. Then the Old Testament is the sociology. Jeremiah bought land when he was telling them of captivity and collected the seed. Abraham's wife died. He was crying, and he bought land and collected the seed. It was deeded. And he bought from Ephraim. It was the cave of Machpelah, which is now Hebron. Every time the Palestinians are complaining, they show them the Bible that our father bought this land. And it was deeded by your ancestors to us. So for a Palestinian to enter Hebron, he needs pass. Because the Jews have a legal title in an established book. So, when I learned that Abraham bought land, I said to buy land. And God discussed land with Abraham for 25 years. As he was talking of children, he was talking about land. Talking about children, he was talking about land. There's hardly any pastor in Delta State that will intimidate me with land. Because I started buying like Abraham. So I took a principle. So in the Bible you have principles, you have practices, you have processes, you have the patriarchs, you have philosophies. Are you following what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So if you understand the principle, the precedents, the philosophy, all of them are PP. Practices, if an unbeliever knows them and applies them, you will get results more than you, a Christian, who is just receiving and receiving. I receive. The reason we have not developed as a nation is that we gained independence without knowing how to build a nation.
Wow.
And so we as Nigerians, we are living like tapeworms inside Nigeria. And the truth of the matter is that if you live as a tapeworm inside a man and you kill the man, you too will die. So we are always thinking about extracting from this country, stealing from this country, without knowing that a nation is not built by prayer. A nation is built by principles.
Yes, sir.
If it is by prayer, we wouldn't be going to India for treatment, because India has more demons than Nigeria. If it is by spirituality, Japan worshipped Hirohito, their emperor, as the sun god, but we are using their technology. There are key principles. Once you know those principles, you will do well. Then, if a principle has worked for Ado, and I use my mirror neurons to steal those principles, if I go to where Ado is not present, and I decide to apply those principles, repeating what Ado has done to achieve what he has achieved, I will get the same results, even better results if I modify them.
Yes, sir.
But I don't know the tragedy of the typical Nigerian. You go to the UK, you come back here, and you're still stupid. I went to collect, I was surprised to see Buhari go to visit Yakubu Gowon in the UK. Last 2 weeks, Yakubu Gowon, you had the privilege of leading this country as a young man. You were married on the throne. Buhari, you became president, with governor of Angola State. You became a petroleum minister, became PTF chairman, you became president, then you came back again, became another president. Out of the 64 years, Buhari and Gowon must have shared close to 30 years of our lifespan. And then you are going for recreation or leave or treatment or whatever. In London, when I was in medical school, the king of Saudi Arabia was coming for treatment in UCH where I schooled. 40 years back, the king of Saudi Arabia was coming for treatment in the University College Hospital. So how come we are now going to the UK and India for treatment? Is that the principles that established those schools, we have negated them and we are wishing that things will work. No. You enter?
Yes, sir. Well done, sir.
Okay, let me help you now so that you won't be angry with me. I know church people don't like me. I went to David Oyedepo's place in Canaan land. I slept in Gowon Estate. And in his guest house, there was a swimming pool there, there was a gym, there was a hall. We rented the hall. People were in the gym. The swimming pool was bringing money. And then he moved from there to another house. But he did not negate this one. So this one was bringing money. Then we went to Canaan land, right from the gates. Then they were just building. I started observing some things. And I lifted up my hand as typical Christian that taps into grace. You are a fool. You don't tap into grace by touching me or sowing seed into my life. You tap into grace by knowing what I have known, doing what I have done, improving on it, and then you will excel even more than me. You see, this native doctor perception of Christianity, Babalawoism, that we are practicing in Christianity, will not take us far. I tap into this grace, the grace of this person. It doesn't work. And we are going around the world tapping into graces. Are you following what I'm saying? Yes. So I lifted up my hands to worship God. God said, put down your hands. He said, observe. He said, then go home and replicate. Then I was passing through real hardship. Most poor people, when they relate with rich people, is what they can benefit immediately. They are not interested in knowing how people have become rich. The secrets of great men are in their stories.
Yes, sir.
Are you following what I'm saying? Yes. So I observed. I discovered that there was a sawmill in the place. There were trees there. And he was sawing the trees into plants. I observed that he had books. And people were buying books. I observed that there were guest houses there. That people would stay. Say, And then I learned from the Bible, 2 Kings chapter 4, from verse 1 to verse 7. And the wife of one of the sons of the prophet cried unto Elisha, saying, you know my husband feared the Lord, but the creditor has come to take my 2 sons as slaves. And Elisha asked her, what have you of sale value in the house? So I got that principle, that you can be anointed, you can belong to a big denomination with a successful general overseer, and be a poor prophet. If you don't have anything of sale value. So I saw Bishop Oyedepo with services and products that were being sold, and I read from the Bible. So I went back home and started putting into practice what I learned. I also learned that he comes to work very early and closes late. So I decided to be punctual, to come to work early. I was leaving Aba by 4 a.m. to reach Ugeli to resume work in my school by 8 a.m. And I practiced that for years. There was no kidnapping then. Even if there was kidnapping, I discovered that what you fear fears you.
Yes, sir.
What you fear fears you. So I decided that I would not go to places late. I looked at the car he was driving. It was just a Toyota car then. So I decided to practice frugality. And I learned recently that in those days, if you went to his house, if he gave you tea and bread and you asked for egg, he said you go and lay the egg. So people like Charles were looking at me at Ugeli, and they were saying that I was a miser. That I was in fact, somebody asked me a question when I gave you your joy. He said, how do I enjoy my life, or how do I give money? I don't understand. But I learned that when I pay my dues, men will pay my bills.
Yes.
Are you following what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I decided to live a very frugal life. Even till today. This is the second time I'm wearing this shirt. But will you add it?
No, it's very nice.
I wore it. I told Abraham to fold it very well. Spray perfume inside. Because I heard that the Oyedepo was driving through the toll gate with his driver then. And his driver gave 20 naira and sped up. He told him, stop, those money did you leave behind? Come bring it. So I I decided to live a very frugal life, to punish myself so that I can publish my story. Now they follow me, so?
Yes.
So I started managing my resources and reinvesting regularly, and also diversifying the things I needed to have of sale value. If you come to my sitting room, you won't see good furniture, but you will see books of up to 10 million there.
Yes, sir.
I discovered that he was writing his messages into books and all. So I started writing. Then my wife picked up the writing business. My son, 13-year-old, started typesetting the books, started writing his own books, and he became a millionaire at 22 in my house. Today he has a PhD, he's married to a cardiologist in Europe. In fact, by Monday I'll be seeing them. Are you following what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So success is easily demonstrable, replicable, and transferable. Any success that is not demonstrable, replicable, and transferable has criminality in it. Even the anointing of prophecy was taught in schools. They had prophetic schools. Are you following what I'm saying? So, if you learn these principles that I'm teaching now, so you must start looking for people who have succeeded. You are taking the principles without going through their trauma. You don't understand.
Yes.
The traumas I went through, you don't need to go through them. But I'm giving you the synthesized principles. And you are taking them, it makes success easier for you. And then by the time you adapt success to yourself and to your environment, the person you copied from will start admiring you.
Yes.
So the Japanese, I told you, Brown, that I didn't write anything there and say it is in you. I didn't make any notes. I didn't prepare this lecture. I don't mind my notes. I don't went and arrange better human beings. I'm entering alongside where I'm speaking now. They put Cosmos Maduka, put bishops, put this, and they added me. They now use computer to wear me coat and tie. I've gone to preach somewhere, they refuse to give me seat. In Kaduna, you are going to look like a speaker. And I sat down. I said, I will wait till I have the So, don't mind me. I'm not normal, okay? So, you see success. There's a story behind it. There's a secret behind it. I was telling them there that when you work for people, don't work for salary. Let the salary just be something that sustains you. If not, it is salary that you are working for, it is slavery. That's why you are called civil